Welcome to the video, everybody. So today I've got a couple of things that I want to do. While I've been in isolation, Alex and I have found that making a list or making a couple of goals either each day or throughout the week has been helping us keep sane, and anything that's helping us keep sane in this time is really important. Welcome to the new office. If you like the look of it, I think it looks quite nice. Put some Lego up there. If you didn't know, I used to work at TT Games. I used to make they still make all the Lego games. So I have a lot of history with Lego, so I like having it displayed in my house. Okay, so the things I'm going to go over in this video. My goals today is I want to make a really nice brisket and a piece of pulled pork in my smoker. I'm going to play with my new Nifty 50 and speed booster on my camera. And I'm probably going to have a workout. I haven't worked out since Tuesday, which is pretty bad for me. But yeah, those are the things I want to get to do today. So follow along if you think that that'd be interesting. Give the video a like if you like it, and I will catch you in the next shot. So in my haste to get B-roll, I skipped a step with the pork, which is putting mustard and oil on the meat first before I put on the rub. So if you look at this one and the brisket is a lot wetter, more smoke will stick to it. So I think what I'm going to do, because I can't really add the oil on now, I was going to just make sure I spritz it a lot before I put it on. What spritzing is basically you just spray the meat. You're supposed to be spritzing this a lot anyway, I think once every hour, but I don't want to open and shut the smoker with the brisket. So if I really spritz the thing up before going in now, hopefully I can not have to do it as much. So yeah, I'm going to prep the barbecue now, leave these out to get to temp, so like room temperature. I'm going to get the barbecue going, and then put these on, and there's not really much else we can do with them. I'm going to leave an internal temperature probe in this one, and this one I'm not as bothered about because it's not as an expensive piece of meat. It doesn't matter as much to me. This was bought by my mum and dropped off because I've been making brisket every single weekend for the last 5 weeks. And when I usually make it, I cut it up into sections and I drop it off to people's houses. Now, I know we're in lockdown, but I'm not going into their home or anything. I'm literally texting them saying I'm on my way. I'll leave a package on the doorstep and then I go. So I never actually really interact with them unless I talk with them through the window, which is nice. So I was trying to spread a little bit of happiness with people during this lockdown by sharing some food. No one has been ill in the 5 weeks of me cooking stuff for them. So yeah, I thought it was a nice thing to do. So prep the barbecue and then we're going to put these on. So now we've got the coals going. We're going to leave them to burn off because they've obviously got some instant lighter fluid on them, which I don't want to go anywhere near my meat. So I'm going to leave them for about 10 minutes, and then when they burn off, I'm going to put the wood on. Now, I usually have wood like this that I get from Amazon, and it's about 20 quid to 25 quid. This is olive. You can get cherry and apple. It's quite expensive. If you could find something more local and you could get it in bulk, because you want to do this a lot, then you're going to save yourself a lot of money. I then bought this from Amazon, which is heavy, which is, was it £19? A little bit cheaper, but I get actually a lot more wood, and the wood is bigger. So if you can see, there's a long, big piece of wood. And these, I'm hoping that those bigger pieces turn out to be a bit better. But I'm going to use a mix because I need to use that up anyway. When that's burnt down, I'm going to put them on, and then the meat will be ready to go on. So the smoker is going. You can see in here, I've put the wood in. I'm getting it up to temperature. That's perfect. I brought the meat out as well. Got it there, and one there. They've literally just come outside and sat there, so I'm with it. Nothing's landing on it. I've also got to put in my thermal probe. This is the one that's going to stay in that one constantly, and then I have just a handheld probe which I'll use for the pork. So yeah, I'm just going to put them into the barbecue, and that's really it for a couple of hours until that reaches 75 degrees. I have to admit, I absolutely love the results of this type of cooking. I love barbecue food. Red's is my favourite restaurant, so to have their book and follow it, you know, it's a privilege to be able to have a smoker in these times and be able to kind of perfect this kind of cooking. I'm nowhere near a pit master, but I'm getting better and better every time I do this. This is probably one of the biggest pieces of meats I've ever cooked. And there goes the pork, which I had to put on my hand. I need to get myself some proper like heat resistant gloves. Gotta go wash my hands. I didn't actually expect them to take up that much room. They just fit. I don't want to lift this up one more time. I'll lift it up when this timer goes off. I just need to set this and leave them to cook. It's a little under temp, so I might throw another piece of wood in, and then we'll come back later. We're back. The internal temperature of the brisket has got up to 60 degrees. So it wasn't 75, I was wrong, it was 60 degrees. So I'm going to take it off the barbecue, and then I'm going to put it in the crutch, which is basically wrapping it in foil. So in the foil I'm going to put olive oil, and I'm going to do it on this table outside because it's just easier. I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil. I also have this spritz. Basically it's a little bit of mustard, a little bit of barbecue sauce, because I don't have the right ingredients that I needed, so it seems to be focusing on that instead of my face. So the right ingredients, so I've used an OXO cube, so it's beef stock basically, that I'm just going to spray the meat with, and I have some leftover rub, the coffee rub, that is the Red's one. So the way I'm going to take it off the barbecue is basically with foil. So instead of using my hands, because it's obviously hot, I'm going to grab it with foil, bring it and put it over here, and then wrap it up after spritzing it and putting some more rub on it. Now this part, I'm trying to do it as fast as possible because I don't want the internal temperature to go down too much. Here is me spritzing the meat, obviously, and then I'm going to put the rub on. But as you can see, it's really hot, so I need some thermal, protective gloves so I can rub the meat better, because I use the foil and it doesn't really give the same effect. You might be thinking, wow, that's a lot of rub to be adding on, but anything that washes off, I'm going to collect later to create a really nice gravy. So any of the juices that are going to be collecting this foil, I'm going to pour out later in a dish, and then I'm basically just going to, instead of cooking it down and using like a roux and stuff, I'm just going to pour gravy granules into it. Trust me, it works, it tastes amazing. So this is called the Texas Crutch, and you basically wrap it in foil and it helps you get through the stall. It's a good technique to use. I was thinking of using it for the pork as well. However, I don't think I'm going to have to because the recipe says that I shouldn't. So I'm going to try and follow the recipe as best I can. That's all. The meat is back on the barbecue as we speak and getting up to a good temperature. And then we're going to take it out of this foil and then let it crisp up right near the end. All done. the brisket has been in for quite some time now, a couple of hours. The pork is looking great, it's looking really moist. I'm a little worried about the fact that they've got up to temperature quicker than I thought. They've been in for a couple of hours, and usually it would take at least 4 hours to get to this stage. The temperature of the barbecue has been constant at like 150 degrees, which is what it says in the recipe book, and it's what I did last week, and it took longer last week. So I don't know. If you're watching this and you're thinking, hey, why is this guy like umming and ahhing about these things? It's because I'm not a chef. I'm not a professional like barbecuer. I'm not a pit master. This is just me vlogging and doing this at the same time. And I'm not giving you, you should do this and you should do that, because I'm just taking you through my day and showing you like, oh, I'm trying to make this really nice brisket and this is how I'm doing it. If you want to know exactly how to do it, there are loads of channels to go and watch that. This is literally just me going through my day, and hopefully it's a little bit entertaining. Hopefully you learn something. Hopefully it gives you a bit of time away from thinking about the whole lockdown. And also you can look at this lovely cat that's here, and I will show one of my 3 cats to you. This one is Sweep, and she is lovely. But I'm thinking of going and having a workout, because that's one of the other things I wanted to do today. The weather has turned, it's a lot nicer all of a sudden, and also I'm going to work out outside. So yeah, I'm going to probably talk over my workout, and then we'll be checking in on the pork and the brisket soon. As soon as I started getting the tripod set up to actually film my workout, the timer went off and the beef was done. One problem is, it's been dripping into the bottom of the barbecue and out the bottom, and I didn't notice. Look at all that. That's beef juice. So I tried to get as much as I could, but that's like half of what I usually would get. The temperature of the smoker has gone down as well. The internal temp has gone down because of taking it out and then putting it back in and then messing around with it. So I need to get it up to 94. But that's worrying because of the internal temp. So I need to get more wood on there. I need to pump more air through it, and then hopefully the next time you see this, you're going to see some beautiful, beautifully cooked meat. I might not do my workout because I really don't want to lose any more. I don't want any more problems with this barbecue. I've got my dumbbells out and stuff. Just going to do a workout. Yeah. So I think the pork's done. I'm gonna go right now and shred it while it's still hot. Brisket's still in. It's not looking the best brisket I've ever made, to be honest. It's not moist because it lost so much moisture as it was in the foil. So I don't really know what to do with it. I either take it off under temperature or I wrap it back up again and use a crutch to get it up to temp whilst keeping it moist. That's the dilemma I'm under right now. So let's shred this, see what it looks like. Well, the pork turned out really well. I've actually mixed barbecue sauce into it now. I've mixed the Red's barbecue sauce, and as you can see, it's like glistening. I've eaten quite a bit of it because I wanted to eat it while it was still hot. Why not? I'm really happy with how this turned out. The bark on the outside is wonderful, and what I've done to try and save the brisket is I've rewrapped it in foil, and then I've poured the stock cube that I had dissolved in the spritz, poured the whole thing into that. Hopefully that will like re-moisturize the meat, and as it gets up to temperature it will be nice and juicy, because it got to 85 degrees but needs to be 95 degrees, which is what this got up to melt all of that fat and the collagen that's inside the meat. Otherwise it'll just be tough. I'm worried it's going to be tough because it dried out due to the hole in the bottom of the foil which dripped out the bottom of the barbecue. But all I can do now is hope. I'm not going to do my workout anymore. I did a bit. I'm going to do the rest tomorrow. It's a Sunday. I'm just not feeling it. The whole barbecue thing's taking a lot more out of me. Next time I'm going to pick one piece of meat and just focus on that, because it's a lot easier than trying to balance two, because this got to temperature a lot quicker than that did, and that has taken, you know, that one small mistake could ruin this brisket, but hopefully we've saved it. Moment of truth. I'm going to cut this open. I'm going to cut it in half because I'm giving some to my mum. I'm giving half to my mum. Just trying to work out where the grain is, because you're supposed to cut against it. So if you want to tilt towards the, so you can just see the grain is this going this way. So I want to cut this way, and I'm wearing the appropriate top, Red's True Barbecue. So hopefully this is beautifully done. It's cutting well. Well, I think that's turned out pretty good. We managed to save it, it seems. The juice that's coming out of it, that's pretty. This isn't the fattiest brisket that I've ever cooked. I think one of the other ones was pretty fatty. I cut quite the chunk. I'm only using a knife and fork instead of my hands because my brother complained last time. You can just see that. Look at the smoke ring. How much pink there is. And it's not, I don't even have to use a knife. I can use this fork to cut it in half. That's how nice it is. Really happy. Managed to save it, even though we lost all that moisture. So I'm going to wrap this up. I'm actually going to go and deliver half of it to my mum. So if you guys want to follow along. But I think this turned out really well. You want to give this video a like, do. If you want to carry on watching, do, because I'm going to go and deliver this to my mum. And then I'm going to take loads of photos of this. Just dropped the brisket off of my mum's, and she's done a trade with me. So she's given me something, a little present for Alex. And my mum slow cooked some ox cheek in red wine. I think she's been doing it since yesterday. And I'm really excited. I think I'm going to have that with my brisket, because they're going to have the gravy from it with their brisket. Obviously, I put my stuff down, and then she took it, and then she came out and put her stuff down. And we did the whole thing. I didn't want to take the camera up. It just, older people get freaked out by it. So, you probably haven't noticed, but all day has been really stressful. I think I've put a bit too much on myself, if I'm completely honest. I wanted to justify having that new Nifty 50 in the speed booster, because, you know, I don't like spending money, especially in a time like these. But I really wanted them, so I wanted to use them. And then I've put pressure on myself with making this video and also cooking the pulled pork and the brisket, and then trying to do a workout as well, which I couldn't do because as soon as I started it, it was interrupted because of the temperatures and the stuff. So yeah, like, lockdown is getting pretty tough through the week. Work is so busy. But anyway, it all washes away because I've done a nice thing for my mum, and I'm going to go home now and have a lovely dinner with Alex. If you like the video, please give it a like. I do appreciate everyone taking the time to watch it to this point. I hope you found this entertaining. I hope you thought, maybe I could try that, or, you know what, I want to get into a bit of cooking while I have the time, or that hobby that you're thinking of doing. You know, I honestly love barbecue food. It doesn't bother my stomach, and, you know, it just reminds me of getting all of your friends round and hanging out and having good food. So I'm going to head home. I'm going to probably do B-roll of the brisket, like up close, so you can see it a bit better, instead of just watching me eat it. And then I'm going to have a beautiful meal with it. I think I'm going to have some really chunky chips, and some greens, and then maybe the ox cheek and brisket. Oh, I'm looking forward to it. So, driving home, and yeah, going to have my dinner.